Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our October 6th reading. I jumped on yesterday for the first time in a long time, and it felt so good to be there and do a reading. Do not mind my appearance. I'm doing these readings right after I'm doing my workout before I take a shower. It fits in my schedule that way. So, and I'm just not going to be that person who says, oh, I got to do my hair, I got to do my makeup before I could do my video, because that was stopping me a lot. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm coming on here. I'm coming raw. I'm coming real. This is the way I am. This is the way I would talk to a friend of mine. And this is just how it is. So with that being said, let's start off with our Just for Today reading by N.A. And I'm outside today. So if I'm squinting or I'm looking a little, yeah, that's why. Okay, so October 6th is Amends Without Expectations. The 8th step asks us to become willing to make amends to all persons we have harmed. As we approach this step, we may wonder what the outcome of our amends will be. Will we be forgiven, relieved of any lingering guilt, or will we be tarred and feathered by the persons we've harmed? That might be kind of fun, actually. Our tendency to seek forgiveness must be surrendered if we expect to receive the spiritual benefits of the 8th and 9th step. If we approach these steps expecting anything, we're likely to be very disappointed with the results. We want to ask ourselves if we are pinning our hopes on gaining the forgiveness of the person to whom we are making amends. Or maybe we're hoping we'll be excused from our debts by some sympathetic creditor moved to tears by our hard luck story. We need to be willing to make our amends regardless of the outcome. We can plan the amends, but we cannot plan the results. Although we may not be granted a full pardon by everyone to whom we owe amends, we will learn to forgive ourselves. In the process, we will find that we no longer have to carry the burdens of the past. Just for today, I will let go of any expectations I have on the people to whom I owe amends. This is a good one. And I've said in other videos that I've made, I am not here to teach anybody anything. That's not what this channel is about. I'm not better than anybody. I'm very early on in my recovery myself, probably about a year. And the height of my recovery was during COVID. So there was no meetings available, sponsors, step work, anything like that. So I haven't started step work myself at all. I am familiar with the steps only because I was in a rehab prior. So I'm familiar. I thought the 4th step was about amends. See, I don't even know. It's in here. It says the 8th and the 9th. So I do know it includes to apologize and to make amends with the people that we hurt during our addiction. And yeah, it totally makes sense. It's for them, but it's for us as well, because we tend to carry so much guilt. And a lot of times that perpetuates the addiction. For me, anyway, I'm going to speak in my own experience. But like I was saying, I want this channel to be like a community of people that can come here and be very real and speak what's on their minds. There's no rules here. Even in any meetings or AA meetings, there can be a lot of rules. I know for one, AA meetings kind of look down if you go there and introduce yourself as an addict instead of an alcoholic. I don't know. I just believe not everybody comes in a box. Everybody's different. And if they're looking to come there to heal and to be heard and for support, who cares what they're coming as? So this is what I want this channel to be, like a community that we all just chill, relax, talk about our experiences, and build our own little community for each other to just come to and chill, with a judgment-free zone. That's exactly what I want this to be. So I'm not looking for comments from people to be like, oh, you're wrong, the 8th, and I don't care about all that. I'm not looking to be right, okay? I'm looking to have a very real, honest conversation with each other. That's it. That's all I'm looking for. So as far as amends go, though, personally, I haven't really done the step work of the amends. You know what I mean? I feel personally that the majority that I owe amends to are my kids. I don't feel like, I mean, and I'm sure I've crossed somebody along the way that I should apologize for something, but nothing that's perpetuating guilt in me. The only guilt that I feel over my addiction is to my children. Um, so I have started to change in ways to make amends towards them for that. The reason for my sobriety and to get clean was for that. And that's very sensitive subject to me, my kids and things. So I don't really want to go into that right now, but maybe sometime in the future I'll be able to share a little bit more. Um, so yeah, that's where I am like with amends. That's how I feel. And it's for us because when you carry that guilt, first of all, okay, I'm going to get a huge truck that's going to come by. Anyway, addiction always stems from trauma. It isn't the drug that's the problem. Usually, it's an underlying trauma that you're covering up. And then what happens is while you're using, you're hurting other people, you're doing that. So when you come out of that, then the guilt is what keeps you going using because you want to cover the guilt and the trauma. You know what I mean? So it's more for us to like get rid of that guilt, make amends, and move forward. Um, and I don't feel like I completed that at all, but I feel like I absolutely started to make steps to do that for my kids. If there's anything you guys got out of that reading or want to share about amends, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. With that being said, we're going to switch over now to The Language of Letting Go by Melanie Beatty. We have all kinds of noises going on in the background. I apologize for that, but I am sitting outside on my deck, so you're going to hear things going by. Okay, so October 6th from The Language of Letting Go by Melanie Beatty. It is taking care of ourselves. It's healthy, wise, and loving to be considerate and responsive to the feelings and needs of others. That is different than caretaking. Caretaking is a self-defeating and certainly a relationship-defeating behavior. A behavior that backfires and can cause us to feel resentful and victimized because ultimately what we feel, want, and need will come to the surface. Some people seem to invite emotional caretaking. We can learn to refuse the invitation. We can be concerned, we can be loving when possible, but we can place value on our own needs and feelings too. Part of recovery means, and this is, I just want to say, this when I'm reading this book, this is for daily meditations for codependents. The first reading was the Just for Today for Narcotics Anonymous. So this is talking about codependency and relationships, and I read the two together every day because I just feel they pair really well together. A lot of addiction, you're in codependent relationship, especially like boyfriend girlfriend dynamic, or like intimate relationship, girlfriend girl, whatever it is. It's a very codependent. Okay, some people seem to invite emotional caretaking. We can refuse the invitation. We can be concerned, we can be loving when possible, but we can place value on our own needs and feelings too. Part of recovery means learning to pay attention to and place importance on what we feel, want, and need, because we begin to see that there are clear, predictable, and usually undesirable consequences when we don't. Be patient and gentle with yourself as you learn to do this. Be understanding with yourself when you slip back into the old behavior of emotional caretaking and self-neglect. But stop the cycle today. We do not have to feel responsible for others. We can even learn, we do not have to feel guilty about not feeling responsible for others. We can even learn to let ourselves feel good about taking responsibility for our own needs and feelings, rather than someone else's. Today, I will evaluate whether I've slipped into my old behavior of taking responsibility for another's feelings and needs while neglecting my own. I will own my power, right, and responsibility to place value on myself. Wow, that's a really powerful reading to me. And more towards the end where it says, we do not have to feel responsible for others or feel guilty that we don't have to feel responsible for others. And what comes to mind when I read that is, I'm trying to see how I can share this. This is just a smoothie that I made this morning. How I can share this without letting go too much personal information about the person I'm talking about. Someone very close to me in my life is in a toxic relationship and constantly feels responsible for their partner's feelings. And they're being controlled by that partner. What I mean is that partner will say, if you leave, I'm going to kill myself. If you do this, I'm going to do that. So the person will stay because they don't want the partner to hurt themselves. So, and I try to tell this person who's close to me in my life, you are not responsible for someone else's mental health. Their mental health is not your burden. Okay? If you're concerned about somebody's mental health in your life, then you take the proper measures to get them help. But you have to, because what's happening is your own mental health starts to deteriorate because you're allowing this other person to control you by making you take responsibility for their mental. That is so unhealthy and toxic. And like that reading just reminded me of that. Codependency is a very dangerous thing. I was with my kid's father for 11 years, and it very much played a role in that. I felt like I could not live without him, and that's so not healthy. After I got out of that relationship with him, I also got into an 8-year relationship with a woman that I'm just now getting out of and healing myself. And this is another reason why I started doing these videos. This is my journey. I'm like a year and a half in now. I moved out of there from being with her. I haven't now spoken to her in months. And I have started to meditate and do my readings and be more healthy and just worry about my health and mental health and well-being above others. And it's so freeing, the freedom that I have from now worrying about me instead of being in that relationship where I had to walk on eggshells to make sure I was doing everything right so their mental health was okay while I'm neglecting my own. It's so dangerous. And you could feel the difference when you pull yourself away from someone, something like that. The change is just astronomical. So anyway, that concludes our readings for today, October 6th. I hope you all have a great Wednesday. And if you like this video, please hit the like button, click, share, subscribe if you want to hang out and become part of this community. And comment below. Comment below what you got out of these readings, how you're feeling today, where your mental health is at the moment. I really would like to hear about that. And yeah, have a great day. I'll see you here again tomorrow.